Okay. And everything that I'm talking about today, you're definitely going to get as part of your workbook. So don't frantically write stuff down, just to relax and enjoy, and let's have a good time. And we're going to send you a link to the recording for today's workshop, as well as a copy of your workbook. Okay, so that's the goal for today. The goal for today is for you to be able to have fun with decluttering, because it's not just something that is fun and exciting. I think it's very much needed for our emotional and physical well-being. So that's what we're going to touch upon today. And my goal is to help you understand that it does not have to be complicated. I think when we look to see what others are doing, and we're like, oh, well, that won't work for me because maybe I have 30 years worth of stuff that I need to clear out, if you're thinking about your home. But yet, the goal is just to take it one small bite at a time. So that's what we're going to talk about. So let me share my screen because I have everything up and running. And all right, so the goal is today for you to go from a crazy looking lady pulling your hair out to someone who you actually breathe and say to yourself, you know what, this is not bad at all. We're going to get through it, and I have a good action plan. So a little bit about me. My name is Olga St Pierre. I am a real estate agent by trade with Keller Williams Real Estate, and we have been helping our clients make a move for the last 15 years. And as you can imagine, a big part of what we do for a lot of our clients, it starts out with going through some of the personal things to make a decision whether those things are going or not. So whenever you move, you declutter. So it's interesting. On one of these workshops, I had someone say, you know, I intentionally move every few years so I can declutter and purge. So that's a little drastic, right? This is not the advice, and this is not what we're talking about. But let's say if you're in the military and you have to move every 2 to 3 years, you really do have to be strategic about the things that you do buy, accumulate, and then you take with you. So our team mission is to help you once you become a homeowner, or if you're on the path, to help you create a really good plan. And then once you become a homeowner, we're still here for you to help you be a responsible and sustainable homeowner and being a member of your community. We do have a complete move solution from start to finish, because it does take a village to help you. It's a lot when you make a move. Making a move is actually considered to be one of life's top 10 stressors. So it's definitely not easy. And that's why we have our concierge service, which is a state-of-the-art marketing plan, list of contractors, assistants. Think of us being a virtual Yellow Pages, right? A physical Yellow Pages is quite dwindling, but it's always nice to be able to say, you know what, I'm going to call Olga because she probably knows someone who can help us with whatever it is that's on your mind that you're looking forward to. One of my clients called me on Friday and Saturday because she has tenants that are dealing with a squirrel. And it's just funny because they can't figure out where the squirrels are getting into. I said, well, let's talk to a couple of chimney people. Here's the list. Let's figure out, maybe you need a new chimney liner. So we were brainstorming, and she's like, thank God I have you. She's like, you are my go-to. So this is what I'm inviting you, is for me to be your go-to for whatever you need to help you make your life easier, right? And that's kind of why we're here, because we're talking about decluttering, is to help you make your life easier. So see, these are some of the questions that I think a lot of us are asking, and this is probably why you're here, because you don't know where to start. You're not sure, what to do with all of our stuff. It grows over time if we leave it alone. Think about your mail. The mail comes into our house 6 days a week, like clockwork, unless it's a Sunday or a holiday. And if you don't stay on top of your papers right here, it's only going to get worse. So, and that is the goal. The goal is, this is how I handle it, is just a little bit at a time, So where to start, what we're going to keep, and why, and for how long is what we're going to talk about today. And I invite you to take the workbook that we're going to send to you, kind of use it as a guide. And the one thing is just keep in mind is that you're not going to be able to do everything in one day. So just disregard that notion. It's not going to be possible. So that way you don't set yourself up for failure, but you're going to make a start and you're going to start somewhere, right? Depending on what your decluttering project looks like. So things in our lives do affect us and our happiness and health and productivity on two different levels, conscious and subconscious. And it's actually very important to understand. So subconscious level is where we do things on autopilot, things that are our habits, where we get up in the morning, we get dressed, we shower, we grab our breakfast and coffee, and then all of a sudden we realize that we ran out of milk for our coffee. So we literally have to stop ourselves in our tracks and say, oh, I'm out of coffee. So now I have a decision to make. So now you are consciously thinking about what you need to do, where usually it is a habit process that you just kind of go through your paces. So you make a decision, do I want to drink my coffee black? Do I want to dump it, unfortunately, because I don't do coffee black and maybe have some tea, or figure something else out, like putting in a scoop of vanilla ice cream, if you have some, and making it a coffee glacé, which is a French version of it, which is yummy and amazing, and I encourage you to try it. So that's what we're talking about. And the big piece of all of this, based on the research that I have read, is that the clutter affects us on that subconscious level where we don't actually physically think about it, yet it's there in the back of our minds, constantly just grinding down and just wearing us out. It's using up our energy. So, and as you can imagine, when you think about clutter, I want you to today be mindful about it, is that when your mood sours because you're thinking about it, this is what we're talking about. It is affecting you in more ways than you can think of. And this is why it's even more important to tackle it. And my goal is to help you understand today how we're going to take it one small piece at a time. And also, maybe this is a good time for you to make plans for the new year in January to get that refresh start and to put an action plan together. And here's how we're going to do it. Number one, you're going to set an appointment with yourself, just like you would do if you had to go to the eye doctor or a regular doctor, or for a annual or semi-annual checkup. Your declutter appointment is going to be just as important, and you're going to set up a time for 1 hour. And for that 1 hour, you're going to promise yourself and keep that promise of not being distracted 100%. Your phone is going to be on silent. And if you want to use a timer to make sure that you're staying focused for that 1 hour, please use a microwave or a kitchen timer where it's all it is. It's just a timer. Okay. Next, I do have some good news for you, is that when you are decluttering, it's like going to a gym, everybody. So it's like 2 for 1. And to me, it's even better, where I can do more than one thing and take advantage of it and make and do some movement, which is great for our bodies. That's a bonus, an absolute thrill for me. So you're going to probably work up some sweat. But my suggestion to you is make sure you're wearing comfortable clothing, because you're going to be walking around and running around. You're going to be kneeling and up and down and up and down. So workout for the win, which means that comfortable clothing. Make sure you have some water to drink, and make sure that you had something to eat before you started on this project, because you're probably going to get hungry and we don't want you to get distracted. Next, make sure you have some pump up music. I always feel that you don't think about it, but when you put the music on, it just does something. You know, the feel of something and the sound of something exciting helps our hormones get into a positive direction, move into the positive direction, and it's going to help you stay excited about what you're doing. And a lot of you do know I'm a big proponent of notebooks, because you want to physically write stuff down, not think about it and say, I'm going to save it for later. You want to physically write down your notes, reminders, and plans for next time. Okay, so, and we are here to tell you that yes, you absolutely can make it fun. Okay, we can make it as a challenge if you want to do a certain number of items that you want to work on for the hour, or if you want to only work on one corner, or if you want to have a 30-day challenge because you're like, Olga, I need to work on my whole house, I just don't know where to start, then let's have this idea, right? So where on day one, let's say your day one is your 1 hour appointment, you go into empty one junk drawer, because that is what is in the first square of that day one. Okay, so pick one junk drawer, set your 1 hour time frame, have your trash and recycle bags and bins, and off you go. Okay, so let's make it fun, and then you decide on what that fun looks like to you. If you would like us to, we can send this the 30-day declutter challenge to you, so that way you don't have to think about it. And again, I don't want you to overthink it. Well, Olga says it says 12 items on here. Well, I don't know what those 12 items are. Pick a number that makes sense to you, right? This decluttering project is what you take on, and everybody has different ideas and different plans on what you're working on. Next, we're going to focus on preparing our tools. And again, please don't overthink it and say, hey, well, Olga said you need to have all these things. And if I don't have those things, don't let your interior voice to talk you out of it. Really, the only thing that you need is your trash and recycle bin, and most of us have it. If you don't have storage bins, have bags. If you don't have those, have some grocery bags. And if you don't have those, all of us have 4 corners in each room. So you pick a corner, you designate that with some Post-it notes as something you're going to keep, something you're going to donate, undecided, and then either throw away or sell. Okay, very simple. Now, at the end of your 1 hour, the goal is to have something in each of those piles. Okay, in each of those piles, you're not going to put everything in undecided. It's okay to have some undecided, because you're giving yourself grace and say, you know what, I am not ready to make a decision right now. However, I am going to make a decision, and right now I'm just going to put it here. But you're also going to tell yourself that I have until a deadline date to make a decision about this particular item. Okay, so as you're going through the stuff, I want you to trust your intuition, and you just keep these things in mind. If you are looking at something and it's going to bring you joy and you're going to feel it, that first reaction when you see something, you're going to keep it because it's supporting your vision for things that you're doing and for the plan that you're going forward with. If the stuff makes you feel like blah, and you're like, and you're not sure, right? That feeling of a negativity or something, get rid of it, okay? Put it on the decided pile, or get it out of the house, put it in the shed, something like that. And then once your 1 hour is up, because you promised to yourself that you're going to stay focused, okay? I want you to pat yourself on the back, and then I want you to jot it down. What date it is today, what room and what project that you worked on, what did you get accomplished, what are some of the notes that may be reminders for you for next time. For example, if you have some things that you have to give away, family, friends, you need to tell, okay, I need to call Mary, I need to call John, I need to call Susie, and I'm going to ask them that. And if you want to do it right then and there, send a text message, call them, and just say, hey, I am working on my decluttering project. I have a couple pieces that I thought of you when I saw them. Would you mind taking a look at it and tell me if you want them? And if you don't mind, can you please let me know by the end of the week, so that way I can then move forward with my plans. You need to also give people deadlines as well, because otherwise, because they have their own stuff that they're focused on, they're never going to get back to you. And then especially kids, and they're going to continue to use your home as a free storage facility. All right. So here is where I want you to use the rest of this presentation as we go through as a guide. Okay. There's a lots of information and visual help that I packed into this workbook, but it absolutely has a reason for it. And the number one thought that I want you to take away from today is that you are not decluttering. You're not going to do this every 6 months or a year. It is a huge project that is a very much emotional and physical in toll for all of us. I totally understand. And this is why the goal is for you to be able to say, okay, I'm going to work through this one time, and I'm going to set up a system on how I am going to maintain everything that I do now, the progress that I have made, and I'm going to maintain it going forward. So the goal here is to invest in some things and some systems and tools to help you maintain the order that you have created as part of your declutter project. So I have some ideas and suggestions here for you. And you know what, if you're on a tight budget, all of us have ragu bottles and jars. And all of us have Amazon boxes that you can convert into storage boxes and storage cubes by just, putting some paper around it. So lots of different options. And of course, I have some other suggestions here for you where you can utilize the space that you have in each room of your house and be able to utilize the systems like kitchen organizers or stackable shelving units, door organizers that you can purchase in Walmart, Home Depot, Lowe's, or on Amazon if you don't want to leave, right? So right now we're in the kitchen. So I'm encouraging you here to, first of all, don't forget your refrigerator, right? It's a place where we go in and probably open and close it 300 times a day because we love our food. So definitely organize and designate special places for all of your things in the refrigerator. And when you have those designated places, it's also going to help you save money because you now know that you're running low on something and you're going to put that on your grocery list, which you're going to take with you next time that you're shopping. Okay. Use clear glass and plastic storage containers. I already mentioned to you, my favorite are from like ragu and from pickles. So sometimes I'm intentional, maybe getting a bigger jar of pickles because I know my family is going to eat it, but then I know that jar is going to be used for something for storage. And also when you use something with the lid, especially glass, it's also going to make sure that your items and your food is going to last longer as well. All right. Then go through your cups and serving utensils and all of those things. Make sure that they're not chipped and cracked because if they are, it's time to throw them away. And go through your stuff that you use maybe once or twice a year. Do you really need that cotton candy maker or that ice cream maker that maybe you got from somebody else and you kind of felt bad because it's like, well, I don't want to throw it away. I want you to look at all of those tools that are there, but maybe they're overwhelming and crowding your space more than they're helping you. So keep a couple of things that are definitely making sense to you and donate the rest. And I have some ideas here for you. The goal is for you to use all airspace that you have in your kitchen. And if you have an older home, it's even more important because in older homes, there's not a lot of storage. So airspace I'm referring to is the space that you have in your cabinets, under your sink, using your doors. All right. Next, we're going to head into the bathroom. So that is the next step. So number one, I want you to take out all of your products and I want you to go through them. Anything that is over a year old, you're going to throw away because it's extremely important that you use fresh products, especially when they go on your body, right? Your body is the only one you have. What I always tell clients is like, listen, I can help you purchase any home you want, whether you want to upsize or downsize, or you want to purchase an investment property, which I'm passionate about to help you grow and save for retirement. But the body that you have, the body that we all got from the higher authority is all we have. You can't exchange it. If it stops working, you can't get another one. So it's even more important to make sure that you take care of your home that you physically live in, even more so because our health is so important. So creams and lotions and potions that you put on yourself, the older they are, the more chemically they become. So my recommendation to you is buy smaller jars so that way you can use them quickly, even though it may be more expensive, but think of that as an investment in your own health more than anything else, okay? Set up your everyday routine, the things that you do in the morning and at night. Definitely replace your makeup and also think about all of the spaces that you have in your bathroom, especially if your bathroom is small. How can we utilize those spaces much better? We can use the doors. We can use under the sink space with really great organizers. We can put in these really nice skinny drawers that pull out that are visually pleasing depending on the colors of your cabinetry. Right? Shelving unit, command hooks, and shelves are really amazing. So all of these things are here and available for you. You just need to look around your space and say, okay, what can I do with the space that I have and how can I design it to make sure that it works for me and for the things that I use every day. Now we're heading into the bedroom. Now, bedrooms are extremely important because if you're not sleeping well, it could be because of all the stuff that you have. So I invite you to look around your room and to see, do I have a bunch of crap just laying around? And it could be on subconscious level, my mind and my body's telling me to get rid of all that stuff, right? And here, yes, we're heading into your closet. We're going to start with your clothes. So some simple rules of thumb for you to go through is this. Again, don't overcomplicate it, because then we start talking to ourselves and then we talk ourselves out of things or talking ourselves into things. If you haven't worn something for the last 12 months, right, ask some of these questions. I have some really simple questions that I found when I was looking through and following some of my favorite people on Instagram. Simple questions. Does this fit? Have I worn it in the past 12 months? Will I wear it again? Do I feel good when I wear it? That's an important question. Is it in style or is it my style? Another important question. If it's damaged, am I going to have the time to fix it? And if I was to shop right now, would I buy it? Right? So some of these questions, and if you're saying no to more than one of these questions, then it's time for you to donate. Now, if you don't feel, if you really are attached to some of your stuff, I have a couple of idea tricks here for you where you can put a box and then put some of these items. And if they're still there after a month or two, and you still feel good about donating them, then let it go. Okay. And again, the idea is that you may have limited space. If you are in a smaller home, or maybe you're in the apartment, use clear boxes, use storage boxes, and use really good closet organizers to help you use every nook and cranny in your closet. And of course, I have some ideas here for you. We're big fans of these wardrobes. If you have no closet, and we like them because there's doors, which means that your stuff does not get dusty, and it's not that expensive. Everything else you can also find. You can put dressers in your closets. So inexpensive ways for you to truly organize the space that you have, so that way you never get back into that whirlwind of stuff and you just don't know what to do with, because you have systems in place. So take a look at those things. All right, now we're going to be heading into garage in your basement. And I am a big proponent of keeping cars in your garage, especially in our area. I can't tell you how much time we have an inexpensive $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 vehicle sitting outside, because we're storing crap and stuff inside of our garage. So I encourage you to review and really think about, is it worth it for you to keep your vehicle that is super expensive, which is the second biggest investment that we all have after our homes, if you're a homeowner, to the stuff that we keep in our garage. And if you say, oh, well, Olga, that stuff is important to me, I'm like, okay, then let's create more space on the ceilings and the walls for us to put that stuff away, so that way we can get our car in the garage for storage. How do we do that? We use systems like clear totes. And if you don't have clear totes, use the whatever totes you do have. Mark everything clearly. You can also buy shelving that gets attached to the ceiling, my all-time favorite, because then you get stuff off the walls and off the floor. You can use your whole ceiling in the garage to store stuff. Can you imagine how many things you can get off the floor? And of course, there's some garage organizers that you can hang on your walls to get the stuff off the floor. I think that is the goal. So if you want to make it as a game and say, okay, I am going to invest in these shelves, and how much stuff can I get off my floor? Right? So that you can use pegboards. You can even get really creative and use pallets that are, you can be used as organizers. Lots of ideas, but the goal again is for you to have everything visually put away, so that way you know where stuff is. Now let's head into living rooms and family rooms. If you are allergic to dust, I want you to think about all the papers and books and magazines that you may have laying around in your room. And guys, I'm just as guilty. However, because I love to read, I read every day. And what I started doing, instead of holding on to the actual whole magazine, what I do is I tear out the page of the things that I want to read, and then I create a pile. And then as the time goes by, I go through them, I read them, I may make notes or write the information in my journal, and then I get rid of the rest. So that is what I'm recommending you do, especially if you are more and more allergic, because there's only so much dust that we can vacuum out. Okay. Next, go through your electronics and cords, go through your pillows and blankets, especially during this season. You can find some really great refresh pieces like pillows, and blankets that you may want to purchase yourself. And then go through your pictures, papers, and magazines. Is it maybe time for you to take advantage and print and update your photos? We all take photos, tons of them with our phone every day, yet we don't take the time to print those photos so that way we can enjoy them when we're not looking at our electronics. And of course, I have some suggestions here for you. Inexpensive ways for you to organize the things that you have, to kind of tidy things up. It does not have to be anything complicated, but it's just something that you may want to think about to decide for what's going to work for you and your space. Okay, this is a great reminder. I get this question all the time, Olga, especially when I'm in my office. I just don't know how long to keep stuff for. What if I need this document? What if I need this receipt? So this is something that I recommend that you print out and you put it on your refrigerator or you put it in your office. It's the things that you want to keep and for how long. And the most important categories are all the way at the bottom. One is called Keep Forever, which is the second to the bottom bullet points. And then the last one is called Always Shred. Keep Forever is important, and I can't tell you how important it is for you to take the time and put these things in order. Keep Forever documents should be kept in a safety deposit box in the bank if you want it out of the house, or in a safe. And you can purchase a safe at Home Depot, Lowe's, and Amazon. And that's what I use. I actually have a safe, and I keep all of my goodies in my bedroom in the closet. So Keep Forever documents are important legal documents, diplomas, papers, home inventory video, mortgage records, military veteran records, anything and anything that if God forbid something happened to your home, you would either have a very hard time replacing it or you wouldn't be able to replace it at all. So if you take anything from our workshop today, I think this is something that I would encourage you to work on as your top 3 things to focus on, especially for the new year. And Always Shred pile is if you ever are in doubt when you're going through all of your mail that comes in, if it has any of your personal information, my recommendation to you is go ahead and shred it. And you can do that with the inexpensive shredder you can purchase right on Amazon. So speaking about the office, right? Just think about everything that needs a home. That's one of the things that I'm good about is when the mail comes in, it doesn't end up anywhere except for the office that I'm in right now. And I separate it in very simple piles, right? That's the rule that I gave to myself. So one pile is my shredding. Second pile is my recycle. And I have a specific recycle bin that I have for it. And then the third pile are the things for me to go through. And I usually put it in the special drawer of my little cabinet that I have to the right of my desk. It goes in there. Everybody knows that's where the important things are. And then every Saturday I go through everything. I scan things, and then I file them away. And then after a year, all of those things get shredded, right? So think about what is going to work for you, because everybody's different. And I have some ideas here for you for filing, for storage. I'm a big proponent of scanning things and keeping everything in Google Drive or Dropbox because information fades, paper gets damaged, but if you have a digital copy of something, then you can definitely do that. If you don't have access, again, don't overcomplicate it. You can always take a picture and have an album on your phone of the things that are very important to you. All right, so now that we have started the process, let's talk a little bit about what are we going to do with our stuff. Here are some suggestions for you of throwing away. Number 1 rule is I encourage you to throw away something every time you have a trash day. So every time you put out your trash, throw something away. Many townships have a bulk day where you can throw away things and bring them to the dump. You have some services. Counties, a lot of the times, will have electronic and hazard trash days. So those are the special days for things that you cannot put in the regular trash. And you can always get a waste management bagster that is actually sold at Home Depot and Lowe's. So you buy the bag and then you just schedule the pickup if you have some projects that you're working on. Here's a fun one for you. If you were like, Olga, I have so much to do, I don't know where to start. Besides doing a challenge, like a 30-day challenge, here's something that you can quickly do when we're done with this workshop. Here's just a quick memory jogger for you. If you're looking at some things you can do. So I encourage you, if you are overwhelmed, which I hope you're not going to be by the end of this workshop, here is just a quick list for things that you can do, okay? So I promised you, you're not going to have any excuses after this workshop. Now, this is an important one that always comes up and say, Olga, well, what about my keepsakes and the things that I get inherited from my family, gets passed down to me, and I feel guilty if I throw it away or I donate it. So I have some suggestions here for you. You can create collage pieces to display. You can truly make a piece of art out of it. You can then take photos of other pieces to keep memories, and then ask your family if they want some pieces. And if they don't, you take pictures, you create an album out of it, and then you donate the rest. It is definitely time to take the photos, especially the photos, and to digitize them. Your local library can help you because they have a scanner. Costco has services, and there's lots of different apps that are available online as well for you to send it in. So this could be something that you may want to work on in January to kind of help you get a hold of that, right? Records, DVDs, CDs, and VHSs, you can recycle some things and then donate the rest. Although I know that like the vinyl records are coming back, and even I've seen some VHSs are coming back as like collectible items. It's very interesting. And what I invite you to remind yourself is that you're not casting these memories aside. You're not throwing them away. What you are doing is, because you are a living human being right now, what you're doing is you're creating a breathing room in your current life for you to create your own memories to pass down to your loved ones and your family, right? So what you're doing is you are freeing yourself of that extra weight, and you're recognizing that what's important is what's happening to you right now, where you get to create the new memories with you for yourself and for your loved ones, and you're not focusing on the boxes that are accruing dust and are taking up space in your attic. Here's some other ideas for you that if you wanted to take some art, create the collages, just some fun ideas for you to do that. This is especially, I think, relevant for kids and grandkids, like artwork and projects. I know this was a tough one for me when my daughters were younger, but I've just decided that I'm going to keep some pieces because it's impossible to keep it all. So take a look at some of these ideas as well. Now, let's talk about selling and donating and who to use and all of those fun things. I have a whole list here for you. You can go the route of selling things on social media, like Facebook Marketplace is my go-to place. There are some apps that are available, or you can go the traditional route of just hosting a garage sale or moving sale, even though you're not moving, right? And have people come to you and then get rid of things this way. And then what you do is just donate the rest. If you want to be intentional about donating things to certain organizations, we have a list of options for you that we can send out to you. Like, let's say you have a bunch of suits for work that you want to donate. There are actually organizations who focus on helping women get back into the workplace who may actually have a need for a professional outfit. So let us know, we can send that to you. And of course, as I already mentioned to you, the goal for this project is not for you to do this every year or on a regular basis, but to do this one time, to overcome this big mountain, one appointment at a time, and to say to yourself, you know what, I have set up systems and I will never go back to that again. But the goal is to keep up with the stuff, because the stuff is going to come to your house, whether you like it or not, almost every day. So don't put it down, put it away. I always do a little bit every day of something. I definitely take advantage of my trash and recycle days on a regular basis. And some thoughts is scheduling a few times a year to donate the household items. You may want to maybe create a space where you have a box in your laundry room where you put things to donate. And then once the box is full, then you can take it out. With clothing, it could be 1 in, 1 out rule. You buy something, that means you need to take something out of your closet, and definitely have a paperwork system for all the mail that comes in to our house 6 days a week. So we talked a lot, and we talked about different rooms of your house. And my suggestion to you is for you to create and sit down And just think about what it is that you're trying to accomplish and what that declutter journey looks like to you, because every one of you is different. So jot down your thoughts and ideas, maybe what's bothering you, what room, why, what are your concerns? Maybe you have a time frame in mind. Maybe you need to make a move and you really need to get through some of your things. Maybe you need to make a move in the next year and you're like, I really need to get started to look through some of those things. If you need to hire an organizer or to ask for help, that's okay too. We can help you and give you some suggestions. If you have a deadline, when does that need to happen? So that way you can then reverse engineer the deadline and say, okay, if I want to be out of my house by next summer, what do I need to do in order to make that happen? So you kind of work backwards, okay? I'm a big fan of the painter's tape that you see, the colorful one that you can purchase on Amazon. It will help you visually mark up the things that you want to keep, maybe in green, and that you want to get rid of, maybe in red. And you can use different colors to help you sort through things to say, I am keeping this, I am donating this is going to my family members, and then you can write with a Sharpie on the painter's tape. And the good thing about this tape is that it's easily removable if you change your mind, okay? And what I encourage you to do is, after you give it some thought, then the time has come for you to actually set a date and time for your first appointment with yourself and get started, right? And I think a lot of times that is the hardest part, is for you to say, you know what, Saturday morning, I'm going to set up the time from 9 to 10. I'm going to get started. I'm going to get started on that one junk drawer or that one room that's been bothering me. And then I encourage you to use this handy room by room guide from this workshop to kind of help you and get things moving in the right direction, depending on what room you're going to be working with. So, and I am always here for you. My phone number, my email is listed here. If you want to pick my brain in private about your own journey, you're more than welcome to reach out to me. I'm always happy to take your call. And also, I encourage you to take pictures of your before, during, and after progress, because there's nothing more satisfying than to see the progress that you're making on your journey, whether it's decluttering or something else. All right. So every month, I also encourage you to come back, because we have a declutter workshop every month. So if you need a little bit of a boost of a vitamin and a little bit of a boost to help you keep you going, you're more than welcome to come back. And a copy of this recording is going to be in our YouTube channel called At Home with Olga. So this is where you can find it. And there's other webinar recordings that are there that you can always check out if you can't make the workshop. And we have lots of other workshops that are currently planned out until the month, I think March or April. We have lots of things that are going on that you can go ahead and sign up. And if you want to chat with me and stay connected with me, most of the time I am hanging out on Facebook, and here's my account. So this is what I have to share with you today. I hope that you found this helpful and that you'll just take your time in whatever decluttering journey that you have of your own, and just take some of these tips and just take it one appointment at a time, one drawer at a time, or one room at a time. And I promise you'll be able to get through it. So this is what I have to share with you today. I hope you found this helpful. If there's any questions, please post them now, or you're welcome to unmute yourself. Otherwise, I will wish you a very happy holidays coming up and a great rest of your day.